Welcome to the Camden County Chamber of Commerce's Get in Your Business podcast, your go-to source for all things small business in Camden County. I'm your host, Allison Shores, and each week we'll be diving into the heart of our community, bringing you inspiring interviews with local small business owners, insightful discussions on issues that matter, and the latest on events that could impact your business. Plus, don't miss out on our expert tips to help your business grow and thrive. Whether you're a budding entrepreneur or a seasoned business pro, this is the podcast for you. So let's get down to business. What's up, Camden County? Allison Shores from the Camden County Chamber of Commerce, and you are catching the 8th episode of the Get in Your Business podcast. And guys, I'm so excited because today in the studio joining me is one of my favorite people, and it is Dan Udy from the A1 Carpet Care.
A1 since day one.
I love it. So Dan, I really want to, I want people to know how you got into the world of carpet cleaning. And I think we just need to start with your story. So
Okay.
let's start there.
From the way back beginning.
Yeah.
It's a good story. I think it's a good story. I tell it a lot. People ask, hey, how did you get into this? Because it's a kind of to me anyway, even now, it's a weird profession. I mean, growing up, I never once can remember seeing a professional carpet cleaner. It just wasn't a thing. It wasn't in my field of awareness at all. And that continued on for many, many years. But fast forward, I'll skip over a lot of stuff. But I was active duty Navy. That's kind of how I got here. I'm from Colorado. But I joined the Navy, ended up getting stationed here for quite a while, went to shore duty, and got kind of bored. So I got a part-time job. Actually had several, but one of them was waiting tables and bartending at Ruby Tuesdays. And
Really?
Yep. So I know we have...
This is the Dan way back when. Okay.
Yeah, this is the Dan way back then. So I was in the Navy, shore duty. I was an instructor at the training facility and waiting tables. But every month, like clockwork, A1 Carpet Care would come in and clean all the carpets in Ruby Tuesdays. And again, this is something I'd never seen before. It was very intriguing. It was kind of neat to watch. The steam pouring out of the wand and just to see the results of a restaurant. I know you have some experience in restaurants.
I do.
And you know how kind of nasty sometimes the floors
real
get.
nasty.
So I was, again, watching them, just kind of interested. And at the time I had 2 dogs, and I thought, I never really thought about it, but when the carpets were kind of beige initially, and they weren't as beigey as they used to be, and so I asked the guy who ended up being the owner, didn't know at the time, but I said, hey, do you do houses? And he said, sure. And I said, how much? And we negotiated. He came out, knocked it out, did a great job, but didn't take long at all. And I loved the fact that he came to me, and the wheels were already turning. So the second time that I hired him to come out, I was in a transition where I had decided I was going to maybe not pursue a passion in financial planning, which was kind of my...
That's where you're going to go?
That's where I was going. I was going to school
Really?
for... I always loved the idea of helping people with their finances and helping people get on track. But again, I was open to whatever and started asking too many questions. And he could tell. And he said, look, if you're even the least bit interested in getting involved in the industry, you should buy my business. I have another one in Florida that's doing well, and I want to sell everything in Georgia. And we had just gotten done talking about how much the van and machine cost. Long story short, it made a lot of sense. And I did some things I probably shouldn't have done to get my hands on enough money to buy it. And this is my 17th year now in business.
Holy cow. It's already been 17 years.
Yeah. So that was, I closed buying the business February 15th of 2008. So yeah, this is our 17th year in business. Pretty incredible. Goes quick.
Yeah. Now I know that your wife, Angela, does a lot of stuff with A1 Carpet Care. So how did she come into play with all this?
That's a great part of the story. So probably, I think, 8 months in or so, which quite a bit happened in those first 8 months. That was kind of my sink or swim time as far as, hey, this is either going to work and I'll get out of the Navy or it won't. But I put a lot of time and energy and effort into making sure it worked. Even though it's an established business, been around for 7 years, I needed a lot of proof. And I also needed a good chunk of change in the bank in order to feel comfortable transitioning out. So right about that time, Angela happened to be moving out of an apartment, needed her car, or I think it was a duplex, but I'll get in trouble. It's a single-family attached home. So she was moving. She needed it cleaned professionally. I think we were the only ones that she found that were willing to work on a Sunday. Sorry, Chick-fil-A. But I was like, at that point in time.
I'll take it.
Yeah, it was no holidays. I didn't have working hours. Like, whenever you need it, I'll be there. And we came out and she was way more impressive than her carpets, so I focused most of my energy on her. I had somebody working with me, and I say I was building customer relationships. She calls it harassment.
Potato.
Yeah, whatever. Long story. I ended up being able to take her out, and we were pretty much inseparable right after date one. So it was pretty cool. And then she came on board to help with the business almost immediately as well, because at the time I had a office at the home. Still do. That's one of the perks of home-based business. But she was helping immediately with a lot of the background stuff, and her background that just fit well. So
really, her dream was to marry a carpenter. That's
she
what
didn't
really
know
happened.
it. I don't know. It's a nightmare dream. We're still trying to figure it out. But yeah, she was working for Valdosta State University on the base at the time.
Okay.
So, and she ended up staying there, working there for right up until we had our till Marilyn was born, and then that was it. She never went back after that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about A1 Carpet Care, the business.
Okay.
I want to know what all you guys do. What is your favorite thing to do?
Ooh, that's a good one. I probably would say my favorite is tile and grout cleaning. I don't know why, but for some reason, and there's certain types of grout and tile that really are the most rewarding types. I think it's because most grout gets soiled over a period of time where it's kind of like gaining weight. Like you just kind of look in the mirror and go, oh, did I really gain 40? It's same with grout. Like you don't realize it, but over the course of time, it gets pretty heavily soiled. And it's when you get in there and do restoration tile and grout cleaning like we do, it's incredible most of the time what the results are. So I love doing those. It's also pretty quick. I mean, we can go into a 2,000 square foot project and in a matter of a couple hours be done, clean, sealed, dried, ready to rot. And that's a feat, to have the equipment and the...
Oh, absolutely. And I'm going to tell you, you guys have cleaned some areas in our office because Shauna Span is very adamant about the carpet being clean. There can be no stains, nothing. So I know, she called you guys to come out, and I'm like, man, they're going to be in our way. It's going to take forever. I've got stuff to do today. Negative. It took like maybe 20, 30 minutes and this stains are gone. They're out of my way. Like it was just amazing how quick they work, how professional they are. I will say that it was remarkable. So it doesn't really even take that long. And I'm going to tell you, were talking about like gratification, your videos of showing like when something going from dirty to clean, like the vacuums, the everything that you have, those things are so, it's like therapeutic. It's so
people
crazy.
Love it. Yeah, people love it. Yeah.
What is it with that? I don't know.
I don't know either. It's going back when I was a kid. I remember doing projects like mowing a yard, or my neighbor had horses, Arabian horse, and we would I was cleaning the horse corrals, and I mean it sounds kind of gross, but I loved the idea of it going from like this huge nasty
mess.
Pile of manure to like, hey, look at that now, look at the yard now, look at that, or it snows in Colorado a lot, and so shoveling off, and so this fit right in with that type of work where it was like I could start, finish in a relatively short period of time and go, look what we did. And not only that, then you go dump the tank. Oh, that was another one of my favorite part, dumping the tank. And I remember the guy that I bought it from, he'd say, you smell that? I said, yeah. He said, it smells good. What does that smell like? I said, and I had a whole bunch of things. He said, it smells like money. And I said, okay, I guess so. But I had some other words, but
right.
it was just to see that water though, and smell the water and see it like, wow, like we're making a huge difference.
A huge difference.
Yeah.
Now, just for people that may not know, what all services do you offer at A1 Carpet Care?
Okay, so that's a good question.
Because we say carpet care, but it's so much.
It's a lot.
So much more than that.
It's a whole lot. And at the beginning, I think it's important to know that really all I did was, 99% was just the carpet. And then I got, you pick it up as you go along. People
experience,
like, well,
you gain knowledge and gain experiences.
And you learn too, like if you already have the equipment and you already have, all this stuff, all you need to do to add in, like for instance, upholstery cleaning, which was probably one of the first, is just a simple little attachment and then a different cleaning solution. So we pretty much went into upholstery cleaning. Mm-hmm. We do quite a bit of that still. And then, with that comes a lot of fiber protection. So we can put down all different types of fiber protection for upholstery, carpet.
When you say fiber protection?
So a lot of people have heard like Scotchgard. That's like calling a tissue a Kleenex. I think fiber protection is basically what that is. So it's just a barrier of protection between the fabric or textile and anything that comes into contact with it. So we put that down a lot for natural stone, tile, grout, upholstery, carpet, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, so upholstery cleaning, and then we went into hard surface cleaning like tile and grout. Mm-hmm. We now do wood floor cleaning and polishing.
Oh, wow.
We do vinyl as well. Like a lot of people are going to that luxury vinyl planking or luxury vinyl tile. We just did a huge project just south of us that almost 10,000 square feet. And it only took a couple days because we've been, investing quite a bit of money into improving our technology and equipment. But yeah, that's something that it's permanent flooring and you can clean it yourself. But over time, especially this project was a commercial space, obviously, it gets kind of embedded, especially ones that are contoured. And so it's neat to do like a deep cleaning on that. But we've also done, gotten really into carpet repair. So restretching carpet. The carpet sometimes get lumps and bumps and humps.
Hold on. Carpet stretching.
Right.
All right.
Well, right now.
Break it down.
Well, you've got a lot. You could talk forever about this stuff, but some carpet's glued down. Like right now, this carpet, this room is a glued. It's called commercial glue down carpet. So this carpet doesn't need to be stretched. That's a thing, right? There's no pad. It just glued down. And if you wanted to replace it, you'd have to scrape it up and glue down some new stuff or what have you. But in most residential homes, you have carpet that is installed with a strip called tackless. And the reason they call it tackless is it used to be you'd stretch the carpet and use tack to nail it down. But when they created this new system called tackless, what it is, you'd put this tackless around the edges of the room. And if you think about, it's hard to do on listening on a podcast, but if you think about an angled, like a little nail that's on an angle, and then the carpet is stretched and it catches like a drum.
Okay.
So you stretch the carpet like a drum.
Okay.
But over time, the elasticity of carpet sometimes fails or degrades, and you'll get lumps, humps, bumps. Other things that can affect it is like moving furniture, humidity, different things. But we can go in and re-stretch the carpet to eradicate those bumps. And in some cases, that's a safety issue, And speaking of safety, I mean, health-wise.
Wow.
Yeah. So who knew, right?
You just blew my mind on carpet stretching. Like, what?
It's a big thing. So, and in order to do it effectively, you got to, obviously be able to move furniture, which we do that in cases we need to. And then we'll do carpet repairs. So if, Susie the cat decides to claw a big hole because you didn't, and we'll go in and we can do what's called a permanent bonded insert. If you don't have remnant, oftentimes people will allow us to go into the closet in an inconspicuous corner and take a piece that'll match well, use that to bond that hole, and then we take a piece that maybe doesn't match exactly, but it won't leave necessarily a hole in the closet.
Yeah.
And we'll put that in there. Or if you have extra carpet remnant, we can use that as well. So we also repair like bleach spots. So if you accidentally bleach your carpet out with whatever, we can go in and neutralize that and re-dye it. We actually took a class where you can take pictures of the carpet and it tells you exactly how much, what types of dye to put back in to match that. So that's another service that we offer.
Oh, wow.
Who knew, right? Yep.
Yeah.
So that's a thing.
Mine. So what else? What else is there?
We do air duct cleaning, dryer vent cleaning.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, why is that important? Can your dryer really catch on fire?
It sure can. We've actually had several where the fire department said, "Look, don't turn that breaker on until you hire somebody to come out and professionally clean that." Because they've gotten many calls, and it is a risk for folks.
And how often should you get that done?
It obviously depends a lot on just like people say, well, how often do I need to clean my carpet? Well, that depends a lot as well. I mean, if the dryer only has a 3-foot line and it goes straight out, there's no turns, that's way different than if it's 25 feet with 3 90-degree turns as well. So I would say it's good to have a professional take a look at it and I let them know, hey, if I were you and you're going to continue to do laundry at the same frequency, it wouldn't be a bad idea to do it once a year, or in some cases every 3 years. In some cases, a lot more infrequently than that. So,
interesting.
Yeah.
What else do we have to cover?
Well, carpet, a lot of people don't realize, I definitely didn't. Carpet is the largest and most effective filter in your home. And so,
really?
Yeah, the largest and most effective filter in your home. So
I've never thought about it like that.
Right. Most people don't. But if you think about, gravity and things settle, right, and they'll get trapped in carpet. And a lot of people that have asthma or allergies, they'll say, I have asthma and allergies. I'm ripping out all my carpet. And I think, well, no, because
don't do that.
You're removing the largest and most effective filter in your home. But other people do it just because that's the way people are going flooring-wise. They're carpet's not really that in anymore. So when you do that, it got to go somewhere. And that's where the air duct cleaning comes in. Because, how often do you really need to do it? Well, it depends. If you have a house full of carpet and you get it professionally cleaned regularly and pretty likely you can get away with not having your air ducts cleaned for quite a while. But peace of mind, a lot of people just like the idea of having it done, especially professionally. So it's a good idea to do on a regular basis. But if you had to pick between one or the other, I'm always going to say carpet first, because it is the largest and most effective filter in home. So because of that, and then changing out your filter and your air handler as well, that makes a big difference too. If you bought a home that somebody rented for years, it's a good chance that they didn't necessarily change it out as often as you would if you were owning the home.
Yeah, agreed. Now, back to your services. I just want people to know that you do commercial and you do residential. So you're not just, it's not just residential and it's not just commercial.
Right.
Because you service a lot of our businesses in town, like their floors and, their showroom floors and stuff. So, yeah. And you do the cool thing is, Dan, is that you do it all. Like you actually will go in yourself and like clean and make sure things are done. Like you're checking, you're not just like collecting a check each month. Like you're working your business. And I love that. And you expect a lot out of your staff. And so I love that. So what else do we have to cover, Dan? I could keep you here all day talking about all this stuff.
Yeah. As far as the commercial stuff, I will say initially that was kind of intimidating, especially the larger projects, especially with things like stripping and waxing floors. Learned a little bit of that while I was in the military, but getting out and just kind of perfecting my craft too. And really being like for 10 years, I mean, I really didn't know what I was doing at all. I was kind of trying to figure it out. And then I did finally end up going to school and getting certified in many different, areas of the industry, which helped a lot because it was able to, basically improve our quality and our service. But yeah, the professionalism is a big deal to me. And I think that's one of the things I took away from the military. And I knew that if I could apply that in a business sense, people appreciate that. I mean, people, not everybody, but a lot of people are really impressed when you can just show up when you say you're going to, or a little bit early.
It's the little things.
It is.
It really is. And it makes a big difference. And you guys have always communicated, I just absolutely love A1 Carpet Care. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, the community does too. And I'd be remiss to say, if just a few years in, I did get a call from our local newspaper and they said, "Hey, congratulations, you won this award." And I said, "I didn't even know we were in this is just a few years in. I think it was 2011 or 12, it's right around, it's just a few years in. And it was the best of Camden for carpet cleaning. And what's really impressive about that was to know that we were competing against companies that had been around for a lot longer, that had been, and it was such an honor. And then to have won that year after year after year, 11 years in a row. And then, the Google reviews. I mean, you mentioned fast and professional. And if you were to read through, I don't know, 500, 600, 700 of our 5-star Google reviews, then you'd see those words, fast and professional. They come up a lot. And I think that's because when I got into this, that was one of the things I really liked about it was that we could get in and get out, which people appreciate that. They don't want you. Not everybody, but a lot of people don't want you there all day. If you can get it done in an hour,
it's perfect.
Don't take 4, you know? And so we do try to respect people's time. We do that by showing up on time, but also working very efficiently. Oftentimes we're working in teams of 2 or 3. So things that would take another company maybe a lot longer, we're able to get done a lot faster. Because I learned that pretty early on too, was not only is it a lot more fun to work with somebody, especially when you can pick who, but also, if I could have somebody with me, at the end of the day, we could fit in 2, 3, 4 more projects. So it was almost like 2 + 2 = 7 or 8. It compounds our efficiency. So I love it.
Awesome. I think it's really cool to have watched you keep expanding your services and your knowledge just, based on you just want to keep providing the best service. And I think that's really cool to have seen you over the last, and I've only been involved with you for about 7 years. And because that's when I came to Camden County. But just in that short amount of time, watching you grow has just been absolutely amazing. So thank you for letting me sit on the sideline for that and getting the up close view.
Well, thank you for letting me come alongside and be part of the chamber in so many different facets and avenues. And that's another one of the awesome things that this business has afforded me is the opportunity to get involved in the community and serve and bring value outside of just carpet cleaning, which is cool and it's fun and it's rewarding. And yes, there's a lot of value we were able to bring to the community through that. But it frees up time where I'm able to, not only invest it back into my family, but the people that make my family what it is,
And speaking of your community involvement, thank you for getting involved in your community. I mean, you give me every Wednesday, with our military tour that we take around, and I just, giving back in that way. And I keep asking, like, are you good, Dan? Are you good? And you're like, no, this is my way of giving back. You let me know that, no, I'm not going anywhere. And I just want to say thank you. And I appreciate you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for today. I really appreciate it.
Likewise.
So everybody check out A1 Carpet Care. And if you hadn't gotten to know Dan Udy, make sure you do. So thank you guys. Please like and share and subscribe. And we will see you later in this episode of Get In Your Business Podcast.